In every decade, a recession has always been a great investment opportunity. But is this an opportunity only for the rich and ultra-wealthy to get richer? No, this is possible and accessible to everyone. According to experts, the best moment to increase your personal wealth is during an economic recession. Making money amid a downturn in the economy may be difficult, but it's not impossible. Although it is a reasonably dangerous bet, the risk seems too small in comparison to the potential rewards. However, if you're curious to know how to go about this, here are 6 top strategies and effective ways to benefit from the recession. Watch out for stocks that are drastically discounted. Recession is often characterized by poor decisions driven by fear and emotions. Oftentimes, out of panic, companies are forced to liquidate, thus leading to a drastic drop in stock price. Of course, this allows interested investors to purchase them at a significant discount. Stocks of great companies may trade at a discount during a recession, since general investors will value the company negatively owing to anxiety. You can get additional shares of outstanding companies at a good price while the stock price is low. Increasing your portfolio is simple and easy when industrial activity is down. Without a recession, for instance, you could purchase 10 shares for $500. When the stock market drops by 30% during a recession, you can get 14 at the same price. Warren Buffett once said, "It is better to buy great companies at a good price than bad companies at great prices." Once you've concluded to buy your first stocks, do it the smart way. Ensure you choose a top-rated broker and that you're buying the right stocks. Also, a recession may be the best time to invest for the long term. Get rich fast through multiple businesses. Recessions always have a particularly negative impact on people who work in the service sector. People with 9-to-5 jobs are vulnerable to being laid off. However, there's a fix for this. If you create numerous passive income streams, you can still earn enormous profits despite the dire state of the economy. The market's movements are unlikely to have an impact on passive streams. You've got affiliate marketing, the sale of stock photographs, and other viable digital jobs that can be automated. If you're an entrepreneur or a small-scale business owner, this is also an opportunity for you to leverage your earnings. Before you conclude that all businesses are going down and nothing is working, I want you to know that some businesses strive. Of course, there may not be any business or industry that is recession-proof. However, historically, some businesses do better than others during an economic meltdown. There is proven research to back up this claim. For instance, the following companies typically perform well during a recession. The candy industry. Candy consumption significantly surged from 2007 to 2009's Great Recession. In reality, Nestle claimed an increase in profits of nearly 11% in 2008, while Cadbury recorded a 30% gain in profits. Fun fact, the Great Depression inspired the creation of Tootsie Pops, Mars bars, and Snickers. Repair and maintenance service. During an economic downturn, people choose to fix broken items rather than purchase a new one. This can result in repairing an old furnace instead of replacing it, or hiring a technician to fix an old car rather than disposing it. Mini-marts or grocery stores. Economic instability often discourages excessive spending, particularly dining out. So, grocery stores profit more as individuals opt for cooking at home. Bars. The National Institutes of Health claim that during dire conditions, binge drinking increases. Although total alcohol consumption fell during the previous recession, binge drinking rose, especially among single men under 30 who had just lost their jobs. With all this information at your disposal, should you have a little capital saved up somewhere, I suggest you consider any of these trending business ideas and earn quickly before it becomes saturated. Reduce your costs. Whether you're managing a family or a business, it's time to reduce expenses and turn into a lean, mean cash flow man. For your business, replace mediocre workers with better quality ones from the ample job market and eliminate unnecessary staff. Additionally, reduce all forms of waste and unnecessary expenses. The same applies to your household expenses. Replace eating out with homemade meals. Revisit all your monthly subscriptions and cut out on the unnecessary ones. It's time to plan and work on a tight budget. This doesn't make you mean and insensitive. It's just about doing what's right in the meantime. Then, use your free time to learn new home skills that can easily replace paid services. Make more money by spending less and saving more. I suppose that sounds weird, but you'll be surprised to learn that during recessions, people tend to save more easily. With so many opportunities around, you can easily get more for less value of money. Thus, you end up saving and spending less. Because of the financial crisis, every everything you see will be on sale. With low bank interest rates, you can easily purchase a better home with a lower monthly mortgage payment. There's never a better time than now to go from renting to owning. However, keep in mind that if you spend too much, you might not be able to take advantage of the recession and make the right investment decisions. Are you a business owner? For instance, you will be able to save more money by taking advantage of several deals, since many businesses and organizations offer discounts on their products and services. Although it could be difficult for you as a business owner, on the other hand, it's the best opportunity for you. You can renegotiate a better incoming price for your items with your vendors and suppliers. You can renegotiate with your supplier in a way that is advantageous to both parties throughout the recession. Your vendors will be much more willing to reduce their prices as long as they're assured of having a stable client or buyer all through the period of economic crisis. You are not in any way exploiting them. It's a win-win situation. By raising your margin and lowering your purchasing power, you will be astonished by the money you'll make. But to benefit from the recession when the economy eventually recovers, you must have the cash to get you through the tough times. The wealthy concentrate their attention on activities that could bring them money during a recession. Fortunately, a market fall can offer a variety of possibilities to save a significant sum of money, enabling you and me the opportunity to grow wealth. Consider a change of job. In any economic cycle, there are two primary ways for employees to generate income. You can make more money either by switching to a higher paying career or working part-time. Or better still, you can negotiate better working conditions with your employer. However, if this seems impossible, there are several part-time jobs to consider during an economic recession. If you've lost your job regrettably and are having trouble finding a full-time position, you can opt for a freelance job. There are several offers for freelance employment on websites like Upwork and Freelancer. You might also think about sending your credentials to a company that hires people for short-term contracts during a recession. Ensure to maximize short-term project opportunities. This not only helps you earn more revenue, but also keeps your job history active amid the economic crisis. Buy gold. Another reliable means of accumulating wealth is through gold investments. Most investors resort to gold as a backup plan whenever the economy begins to decline, since it always increases in value compared to other investments that may end up collapsing. Gold bullion is the most often used form of investment, ranging from a few grams to 400 or more worth of gold bars are available as bullion. 1 to 10 ounce bars is the most popular sizes. In any turbulent economy, gold is always considered a haven of safety. Nevertheless, buying gold bullion can be quite expensive. Deal only with reputed vendors to avoid losing your money, because gold is outrageously expensive. And ensure you keep a watch on gold's market price fluctuations so as to know the right time to buy or sell. Conclusively, a recession is actually the biggest opportunity to grow your wealth and business. When you think of the word recession, know that money itself doesn't just disappear or evaporate into the thin air. Money only gets massively stocked in some people's bank accounts, and you can also be one of them. You can get rich during this global economic crash. It's obvious we are in for another great recession, which means people will face financial trouble, possibly losing their jobs, and maybe even their homes as well. But this doesn't have to be you. Thanks for watching.